Hello friends, welcome to the course on organizational behavior. In this section, Introduction to Organizational Behavior Part 1, we'll be talking about different concepts related to organizational behavior such as organization, groups, definition of organizational behavior, why to study organizational behavior. Let us start with a case study of Four Seasons Hotels and Resorts, which has leveraged the power of organizational behavior by using different concepts of organizational behavior related to culture, stress management. It has become one of the world's top luxury hotels where people love to enjoy the luxury, and also one of the best places to work where people dream to work. When we study organizational behavior, the very first question which comes in our mind, what do we mean by organizations? Organizations are basically a group of people who work interdependently towards some purpose, towards some goal, and it is organized in a way that people interact in a structured pattern. They involve themselves in certain tasks which are performed in a coordinated manner. And at the same time, all these activities, all these functions are towards achievement of some purpose or goal of the organization. Then the next question which arises in our mind is why to study organizational behavior? What are the goals of studying organizational behavior? So the goals of organizational behavior are basically by studying organizational behavior, we are able to understand the different events which takes place in the organizations, and by their understanding we are in a position to predict organizational events which can take place in future. And if we are able to predict these events, then with the help of the previous knowledge we can influence the organizational behavior so that the outcomes are the way we want them to be. So that's why studying organizational behavior is very important task so that we can predict the future of the organization. Then comes the next question. What do we mean by organizational behavior? So before going for understanding organizational behavior, let us understand some basic terms which are used in the field of organizational behavior. The first one is organizing. Organizing means to create order to some purpose, and that is aimed at establishment of some purpose or goal which we want to achieve in the organization. And at the same time, what we do, we separate things into categories, which one to do first, which one to do next, and which one to do last. So in that way we break down the processes. For example, if you want to build a wall, what you do, what you need to organize people and materials, and these people and materials, they work as an input, and the processing which takes place in this uh, process is basically the throughput, where some activities are performed, and the outcome, the output is built in wall. So we are able to build a wall by using this organizing principle. Then comes the term organization. So in the process of organizing, you create an organization. Collectivity of people organized or ordered to accomplish something or to achieve a specific purpose or goal, we develop organizations. So organizations, they basically look solid, but they are fluid in nature. They are changing. They keeps on changing. They keeps on developing so that they become a organized form so that they are able to achieve the goals which they want to achieve. The next comes, what do we mean by organization behavior? Certainly, organizational behavior is defined as the study of how people behave in organizations. What are the actions they perform? What were the activities they perform? What are the mental processes which are involved? Then, at the same time, we also aimed at how to improve these behaviors so that whatever the goals we want to achieve in the organization, they are easily achieved. And this is not possible only with help of a single discipline. Organizational behavior draws knowledge from many disciplines like sociology, the concepts of groups, group dynamics. From psychology, we come to know about the individual differences. People behave differently in different situations. At the same time, the same person can also behave differently in the similar situations based on the experiences which they get through interacting with different people. It also talks about the development of the organization, the evolution of the organization, that we get some knowledge from the field of anthropology. And there are some concepts which we take from political science like power and politics, how to lead people so that organizational goals are achieved. So OB draws knowledge from different disciplines like sociology, psychology, anthropology, and political science. Then the very next question which comes in our mind, that why to study organizational behavior? As we know that we spend most of our waking lives in organizations. If you divide our life in three parts, like we need some time to sleep. So on an average, we need to sleep around 8 hours. Then we have to spend at least 8 hours at the workplace as per the law, and also 8 hours to do our day-to-day activities. So if you see our waking life, we at least we spend more than half of our waking life in organizations or organization related commutations. Then that is why we need to understand how and why organizations functions, and we also need to know how and why people we personally act in organizations. So why we join organizations, what are our needs due to which we join organizations, then how we interact with other people in the organization, with our superiors, with our colleagues, with our subordinates. And as we know, the interactions can create some conflicts. So, how to resolve these conflicts so that we are able to live happily in the organizations. So, by studying organizational behavior, the knowledge which we gain, that knowledge prepares us to increase our personal effectiveness so that we are able to perform our tasks which are assigned to us in a very effective manner. And at the same time, if we are able to perform our task in a very effective manner, that in turn will increase the organizational effectiveness. It also prepares us to resist to different changes in the organizations, and at the same time that helps us in reducing our stress due to the individual regions as well as the organizational regions. It also helps us to make choices about organizations we join, because different organizations requires different type of personality characteristics which are required for the better performance in those situations. So this study also helps us to create change. As we know that change helps in developing the organizations, developing the individuals so that they can gain competitive advantage over their competitors. So if we don't understand organizations, we might be ineffective and unsatisfied. And no one of us would like to be ineffective and unsatisfied while working in these organizations.